The Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has reiterated the country's preparedness to lead in the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and it says policies introduced by the government over the past 4 years positioned Ghana to play this role. Following the takeoff of AfCFTA on January the 1st, Ghana's Ministry of Trade and Industry, in collaboration with the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, held a forum to focus on the implementation arrangement of the commencement of trading under the AfCFTA. All right, let's talk to Alabi John Kennedy, the managing partner at Bespoke Business Consulting in Accra, Ghana. Thank you very much, John Kennedy, for joining us again on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon to your viewers.
Yeah, first of all, Ghana has commemorated its first export under the AfCFTA framework. How much do you know about this development?
Well, Ghana has been in the forefront of the AfCFTA program and agreement, and they've tried as much as possible to make sure they are well positioned to start the trade. We could notice that on the 4th of January 2021, Ghana did their first trade by Kasapoko, Ghana Limited, and the Gandor Cosmetics. And that was the first trade that was done on the AfCFTA platform. And basically, they are strong enough to make sure that the procedures are working properly and they are in a better place to achieve their aims based on the agreement.
You were at this forum held by the president and the customs officials on this AfCFTA implementation. What were the major areas discussed at this forum?
Okay, basically the major area that we discussed was mainly about the coordinating office. This is an office set up by the presidency and the Ministry of Trade and Industry to make sure that we are able to educate businesses and give further information to people who are interested in taking advantage of the AfCFTA agreements. And basically that's what the coordinating office is supposed to do. The president also puts together a steering committee, and the steering committee is supposed to set up their own committee to make sure that they're able to get a work in place. Now, the work is supposed to give a detailed guidance on how businesses can take advantage of the AfCFTA agreement. They also spoke about how the customs are well prepared and well trained to advise clients who want to do the trade and understand how the tariffs and documentation works. Because right now, they're supposed to trade on the platform of the AfCFTA. So basically, they are well trained to get that done as well.
Now, while speaking at that forum, the president said the government has instituted a national export development strategy to take full advantage of this deal. So what are these strategies, and how is it supposed to help to harness the opportunities, brought by the AfCFTA?
So basically, the strategy has a 10-point agenda, and it's under the Ministry of Industry and Trade. What they seek to achieve is to make sure that they are able to export traditional Ghanaian goods. There are certain policies in place right now by the current government. We are looking at one district, one factory. Now, whatever the factory will produce is supposed to provide its services to the product, the Ghanaian citizens, and export abroad. We also have planting for food and job. So what this will be is that there will be more planting for food and jobs that will also cater for the Ghanaian citizenry and export abroad as well. So these are mainly to be able to promote the Ghanaian goods itself and export to the country so that we can have more trade facilitation between the African continent.
Well, Ghana may have, started off being the first African country to launch into this deal. But watching from where you are, looking at other African countries that have signed into this deal, well, particularly Nigeria, what do you think? Do you see success of this deal?
There's a huge potential. There's a huge potential that we're looking at based on this agreement. What each country needs to do is to make sure they try as much as possible to train maybe the custom services in Nigeria, to be particular, and to be able to industrialize each of their economies. When this is done, there will be facilitation of trade between these economies. What we need to understand is if we don't produce what we need as Africans, we can't actually sell to each other. Most of the time, we import from African countries in the US and rather sell to African countries. What they need to do now is to put strategy in place, to set up business, factories that will produce old traditional each other. I mean, when I mean each other, to other African countries. This will help to boost our own economy and help us to stay independent as a whole as a chief. So basically, it's of great potential, and the private institutions also should be able to take advantage of this. When the government put this strategy in place, they should partner with the private organizations to make sure that they also harness this opportunity. Now, the big businesses and the big companies would want to rush and get into this. However, they should also give leeway. They should not compete too much with the small business so that the small business can also take advantage of this and help the economy to grow. So basically, it's of a big blessing to Africa if we're able to implement all these agreements and strategies properly.
All right, thank you very much, John Kennedy. Always a pleasure talking to you, and we appreciate your time always on the show.
Thank you.